welcome to my channel. So today I thought I would just jump on here and do a really quick Q&A. My hair is still kind of wet, it's like damp and I haven't styled it or anything, but this is mom life. Jack is napping and Henry is doing good and Carter is at school, so this is like my only time to film this. So I was just like, at least my makeup's done, right? You know, like at least my makeup's done. So I really love Q&As. I love getting to know people that I follow on the internet. I just think it's fun and personal and interesting. So that is why I thought I would do a little Q&A. I did ask on Instagram for these questions, so if you want to be a part of a future Q&A, definitely go follow me on Instagram. It's at Madison Hopper Cleaning. I may also ask on my cleaning channel if anyone has questions, and then I will do another Q&A here on this channel. But yeah, most of the time when I do these Q&As, I'll just ask on Instagram for some questions because that's the easiest. So I don't have a ton of questions here, so I can probably get through all of them pretty easily. And I think I'll answer every single one. I don't think there was any that I was like, whoa, I'm not answering that. You know what I mean? So let's just jump into it. But oh, by the way, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you enjoy it, that really helps out my channel. Please subscribe if you're new and click the bell to be notified when I post new videos. So, okay, let's see here. Okay. So like 3 questions are related to this, so I'll just go ahead and answer that. Someone said, how many kids do you see yourself having? Are you going to have more kids? Someone said, you mentioned you gave birth to 4 boys, must have missed it. Where's the 4th? Okay, so to that question, I must have misspoke, I guess. I only have given birth to 3 boys. I only had 3 boys, so I must have just misspoke when I said that, if I did. But yeah, and then, are you going to have more kids? Yes, most definitely, as long as God willing. For as far as what's under our control, we do plan on having more kids, at least 1 more, that we're trying for that one right now. And I've been documenting my TTC journey after we recently had a miscarriage, unfortunately. This is the first cycle of us trying, so, and I think that video will probably, my latest update will probably be up before this one. So if you want to get like up to date on my TTC journey, just go watch that. But yes, we are trying for another child. And then it says, someone asked, how many kids do you see yourself having? This is a tricky one. I honestly, like, if I could, like, if I had the money and the help, and if, I have C-sections, I've had 3 C-sections, so my next baby will be the 4th C-section. They really, like, say, you know, you're not supposed to have, like, a billion C-sections. However, I have seen people that have had, like, 8, 9, you know, 11 C-sections, which I'm not doing that. I just don't think that I could, like, take care of that many children, like, mentally. That's just me. I think it'd be, like, awesome to have that many children, but there's just no. So not that many. That's for sure. And I don't think I would feel safe having that many C-sections. But, so as of right now, we're at 3, and we're trying for our 4th. I would love to try 1 more time after that, but my husband may murder me. Like, he may just, that sounds terrible. He would not murder me, but I don't think he will let me go for a 5th. I don't know, probably not. I think he would be mad even seeing me say this. But he probably wouldn't be surprised too. I'm just like sharing my honest thoughts. Like, I'm just a real and honest person, and that's my real and raw feelings, is that I would love to have a 5th, but obviously my husband would have to be on board with that. And I also can't say for sure until we have our 4th, because when we had our 3rd, for a while there, I thought I was done. I was like saying it on the internet. I was telling everybody I was done. And then once he turned like a year or something, I changed my mind. So you never know. I'm the type of person that I feel like people are allowed to change their mind. Like, I think some people were surprised when they found out we were trying for a fourth, and it's like, dude, I'm allowed to change my mind. Like, get over it. You know what I mean? Like, I may be into something one day and then the next day I'm not into it anymore. Like, it's just humans, you know? We are allowed to change and evolve and all of that. So, yeah. So definitely a fourth. I think a fifth would be awesome, but I don't know. 4 kids is a lot. I love to give my everything to my kids. Not that you can't give your everything to like 10 kids, but just for me personally, I want to, oh, lovely. Someone's doing some work out there. I don't know. So maybe, I don't know, should be the answer. How long is this like sawing going to be going on? Okay, hopefully that's done. Next questions. Was getting your cabinets painted expensive? If you don't mind me asking, how much was it? No, it was not expensive. We had a guy who worked on, our last house, we renovated like the entire house, like everything, just like everything was new in that house, and he did probably like 90, maybe 80 to 90% of the work on that house. And he has done a lot of work on like my in-laws' houses and people they know. So he's a very like trustworthy guy, and he does really good work. And he's really affordable. So no, it wasn't expensive. I don't know if I should share how much it cost. I feel like it's probably should be fine for me to share, but sometimes people are weird about money, and I don't know. I don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. So I'm not going to share, sorry, how much it was, but it was very affordable. Someone asked, does your oldest son see his dad? And they said, love your videos. Thank you. Yes, he does see his dad. So my oldest I had at a very young age when I was 18 or 19, and no, 18, 17 almost, and then turned 18 a couple months later he was born. I think that's how it went. So I was very young, was not married, never married his dad. We broke up shortly after I had my oldest and have not been together since. So yeah, that's my oldest situation. My husband and his stepdad, and then our 2 youngest are our children together. So yes, he sees his dad. His dad gets him every first, third, and fifth weekend. There are times though that we switch weekends, or that like we do a lot of things with him. Like he has camps and birthday parties and just different things that we're doing. So in that case, we may have to switch weekends, or he just doesn't go that weekend. But most of the time he goes every first, third, and fifth weekend to be with his dad. And then he is supposed to get him for like a longer period in the summer, but Carter doesn't really like going for that long because this is his home, you know. I'm sure you guys could understand that. It'd be hard to be away from your home for like a whole month. So he does, though, usually go for like a week or so in the summer, maybe. Not always, but recently I think that's how it's been. And then holidays, recently he's been staying with me because that's what he's chosen. Normally we switch holidays, but who knows how that's going to be in the future. We kind of let it be up to him. In our paperwork it says he's supposed to like switch holidays each year with us, but you know, we leave it up to him of what he wants to do. So we try to be flexible. It's so hard. Like, I hate that Carter has to be split and that my husband isn't his dad. Like, it's one of the hardest things for me in my whole life. And so we try to make it easier on Carter because it's hard on me, but because it's hard on him, you know. So anyway, yes, he sees his dad. Someone asked, how is Carter doing? Which I thought was really sweet that you guys were asking about Carter. He's doing really good. He's doing a lot better. He went through a hard time this year. I feel like the virus in 2020 and stuff hit him the hardest out of all of our family members. All of my family members, like at least my closest ones. Well, my mom like still never leaves the house, so it's hit her pretty hard. But in like our family unit, it hit him the hardest because he, like, the little ones are just used to being at home and they have each other, you know, and so it wasn't that big of a deal. I don't think it affected them much at all. And my husband is an essential worker, so he was still able to work mostly, so that was good. But Carter, you know, we were homeschooling, and then it got to a point where I just felt like I couldn't do it anymore, and for many reasons, he needed to be in regular school. So at the beginning of 2020, in the middle of his 5th grade year, I put him in public school. Then a couple months later, the virus hits, and he's at home doing virtual learning. So that was a lot of like change and yo-yoing for him, and he didn't like the school he was originally at. Thankfully, we moved. And one of the reasons we picked the area we live in now is for the schools, the middle school specifically, because he was in 5th grade and now he's in 6th grade. The middle school he's going to is really, really good, one of the best. I really like his teachers, and it's just so much better than the school he was going to at the beginning of this year for a couple months. He didn't like the kids there. He's made friends and stuff at this school really easily. So the school he's at is much better. And then, you know, he had virtual learning, and I felt like we found out he has benign Rolandic epilepsy this year, which means he has silent seizures. So we went through a time of finding the best medication for him. The first medication he was on, he had to take multiple pills every day, and it made him extremely tired. And then eventually, like, we were hoping the tiredness would wear off after he got used to the medicine, but it was also giving him blurry vision, and he plays sports, and he was like playing baseball all the time, and it just wasn't safe for him to have this blurry vision while he's playing something like baseball. So we took him off that, put him on a new medication, and we had to try that for a while, and that actually has been working really well. And so far, he has not had his symptoms anymore of his silent seizures, where he would be taking a test and not finish the last half of the test and not remember taking the test, or there were other things that affected him. So that so far has not been happening, which is amazing. But that was a journey getting there. We had to even get diagnosed. I took him to a neurologist because I could just tell something was wrong, and with the tests and other things. And that he had to have this EEG where they put all these wires on his head, and he had to wear that for 3 days and 3 nights and sleep with it. And we had a camera. We had to carry around this heavy camera. We had to carry around everywhere. And then he had to have an MRI and just all kinds of things. So we got through that. Then he also had, and then we've also tried, along with it. So he also, we found out, has essential tremors, which is shaking hands. My dad actually has it, and that has really affected him. It makes it very difficult for him to write, and I set up a 504 with his school, which is like where you get like documentation from the doctor showing that proving they have this issue, and then like putting systems in place to help him, because, you know, in a school it's just kind of like you're thrown in there and everyone's treated the same even though they're different. So this forces them to treat your child differently, give them what they need. But even with that 504, like, I have still had to email every single one of his teachers, figure out ways, because I was surprised how much in 6th grade they still write, and it affects how hard he works on an assignment because his hand hurts so much he doesn't want to write anymore. There's a lot of drawing and labeling. He's in like world cultures, and so there's lots of maps, and then he's in science. There's a lot of drawing and labeling, like tiny drawings. And then in English, there's a bunch of writing that they still have them do on a paper. So luckily his teachers have all been great and have worked with me, but it's been like I had to write lists and emails, and it's just been a lot, but we've gotten that figured out. And so his grades have gone way up. He almost has all A's right now. He has all A's and 1 B, and we think we'll be able to bring the B up. It was just an issue. It's in science, and he didn't realize how to study for the test, and now that he has learned that, I've taught him, he's been getting A's. So that's been good. The central tremors is still hard. It's still something we're figuring out how to accommodate him with that, but it's gotten a lot better just with you know, educating the teachers and stuff, and learning that you can't like try to teach him how to have better handwriting, because it's just not going to happen. It's like a physical issue. So that has gotten a lot better, which is how we're handling it. Then he needed glasses because when he was reading, he told me his eyes were hurting. So I had set up an appointment, took like months to get in, and then Corona hit and they canceled on us. And so then we had to wait months again. Finally got his appointment, waited for his glasses, finally has his glasses. So that was good. So he's just had a crazy year. Like this is all this year, you guys. And then during the virus, like he couldn't be around his friends, his cousins, like people his age. You know, he's much like an only child in that he's so much older than his little brothers. So it's just been hard, you know, it's just been hard on him, but things are like looking up for him in so many ways. And I'm so proud of him and proud of his resilience, and I could cry, but things are getting a lot better with him. And so, you know, I'm really glad about that. Someone said, what made you and hubby decide to have more kids? So it was me. Honestly, you guys know I'm real and raw and honest. I wanted more kids. And what made me decide that? I just woke up one day. I wanted another one, like after Jack, especially because you guys know I want a girl. So I knew I wanted to try again. But after Jack was born, he got RSV. He was like in the ER, not breathing. Like I dealt with breastfeeding issues. Like there was just a lot. But once we got through all of that, I looked around and I was like, I can handle this. Like these two kids, like 2.5 years apart, this is a breeze. Like I could totally handle another kid is what I felt. And so then it was just convincing my husband, which now he's fully on board, but it did take some convincing. Okay, so last two questions. I think these are interesting, but I'm gonna have to try to not talk so much because I talk a lot. Someone asked, did you date a lot as a single mom? Did you feel like you were never going to find Mr. Right? Yes, I would say I definitely dated a lot. I mean, I was a single mom basically from 18 years old until my husband and I got married when I was 27 or something like that. So I was a single mom for a long time. There are like older women that haven't even been a single mom for as long as I was. Like I went through that single mom stuff for a long time, and in some very pivotal, tough years when you're figuring out who you are and what you want to do with your life and stuff. So I definitely dated a lot. I mean, I don't know. But I had a few boyfriends. Like I was the type of person who would have like a boyfriend, like that I wouldn't just like date to date. Like I was more of like a serious relationship type person. I wouldn't say though that I've had like a ton of serious relationships. Not very many at all. Probably like 2, you know, but maybe 3, probably like 2. I don't know. But I did like date people, you know, and I was really determined to end up with someone that was right for me and my son. And I wanted to make sure, like, I wanted to date and make sure I found the right person. I didn't want to just marry the first person I met, and even though it wasn't right, just because they're the first person, I just stay with them. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. That's just something that's popping in my head. But saying that though, my husband and I did meet when we were pretty young. But we had a long relationship. So let's say the last question, you're asking about love story, you and hubby until marriage. They said love story, you and hubby until marriage. Well, that would have to be a whole separate video. I think I do have a video somewhere, either on this channel or my cleaning channel, before I made it a cleaning channel, where it's literally me and my husband sit down and answer questions, and we talk about that. We talk about the first time we met and stuff. So maybe I'll try to find that. I have privated videos, so maybe I privated it. I don't know. But I do think we should do like a Q&A together at some point, and we can get into more detail about it. But it was definitely a long story. I think the way we met was a cute story. I like talking to my husband about that because I think it's cute. But there was definitely some really hard times. A lot of it was long distance. It was very on and off for a long time. So I think it's a good story to share, because a lot of people, I don't know, maybe I just see this like on the internet. It's like, we just met and fell in love, like love at first sight, and we're just so happy together. And I'm always like, like for some of us, it's just not that easy. For me, for Madison, I hate when people do that, when they talk about themselves in like third person. It seems so conceited. But for me, and for my husband and I, it was not an easy road at all. Not that he was like an addict or cheating on me constantly, or, you know, I mean, I feel like it's hard unless I just tell the whole story, which would take like 20 minutes or an hour, so I can't do it in this video. But there were definitely some ups and downs in our relationship, and there even still is now, being married. Like, it's just not perfect. Like, nothing is perfect, but things are very settled and, you know, so much better, you know, that, you know, we're married now. And so, you know, but people are gonna have ups and downs even in marriage. But yeah, so to be honest, I think it's kind of a cool love story though. It would be a good like book, because the people that are like, we just, you know, locked eyes and we're like, you, me, married forever, boom, perfect life together. Do I sound bitter? Anyway, so my gosh, I gotta end this video because that sound, I don't even know if you guys can hear it, but they're like sawing through tile or something over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this, but what was I saying about that? Oh, I feel like our story would be like a good book, because there's like, you know, the beginning, and then there's like the climax, and then there's like the, you know, difficult parts, and then there is a happy ending at the end. So anyway, I'll share about that another time. But that was this Q&A. I really enjoyed that. I guess I just like talking. I don't know. If you knew me in real life, I would just talk your ear off. Like, people I'm close to, I'm a little bit shy at first, but people I'm close to, I will just talk your ear off and share, and we would, you know, share each other's stories, and, you know, that's just who I am. So that's why I like these Q&As. But anyway, thank you to anyone who stuck around to the end of this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.